Ben Affleck's Batman may return as the actor hints he's open to the role, despite the DCU's fall and the controversy around his take on the hero. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Ben Affleck first appeared as the Caped Crusader in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, a movie that everyone was hyped to see, with two of the most powerful forces going against each other. His iteration of the superhero was filled with raw aggression and sheer physicality. Ben Affleck has a multifaceted legacy. He's an Academy Award-winning director, a screenwriter, and an acclaimed actor. But amongst his many roles, there's one figure that continues to follow him, i.e., Batman. Affleck's time in the DC Extended Universe was a bit controversial, as some found his version to be a refreshing take, while others did not like where the character was headed. We all know that DCU's journey has been rough, and it's finally come to an end. But has the actor completely ruled out the possibility of wearing the cape again? Let's find out. But like any superhero portrayal, his wasn't without criticism because people were divided about the moral code of this Batman, who seemed far more willing to kill than the previous iterations. The original character has a no-kill rule, and Zack Snyder's version deviated far from that. What made people like Affleck's Batman was the duality and balanced approach he brought to the role, as he was fierce and brooding as the vigilante, but a suave and calculating Bruce Wayne. Plus, the voice, presence, and gravitas truly convinced viewers that he was Gotham's protector. Ben Affleck's Batman might have soared in the movies, but the cinematic world built around him was crumbling and struggling to take flight. Zack Snyder's DCEU began as a bold and ambitious project, but ended in fragmentation and franchise fatigue. In an interview, when Affleck was asked if he would like to return as Batman, he replied, "Hey, you know anything is possible, okay?" His words are not exactly a confirmation, but they at least suggest that he would be open to returning to the role, and it could be possible in superhero franchises that are usually open to multiverse, rebirths, and alternate timelines. Due to this approach, the beloved superheroes lacked character development. It was a far cry from Marvel's decade-long slow burn, which forged our emotional connections with its superheroes. But despite Snyder's DCU collapsing, Affleck's Batman is still loved by many, who feel he deserved better and want him to return to the role by any means possible. The first major challenge was posed due to the creative vision, as Snyder's interpretation of the iconic DC heroes was more dark and brooding. For example, Superman no longer felt like a beacon of hope, and Batman seemed brutal and jaded. The characters did not match the traditional heroism that audiences were expecting to see. Their tonal shifts were off, as they went from a serious and intense movie like Batman v Superman to Joss Whedon's lighthearted Justice League, which clashed with Snyder's original footage, vision, and universe, via Slate. Moreover, they rushed the process and introduced heavyweight characters like Wonder Woman and Aquaman within a couple of movies. The Justice League saga, Zack Snyder felt betrayed by Warner Brothers in his lowest moments, which clouded his creative pursuits. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. While Zack Snyder was mourning the loss of his daughter, Warner Brothers took advantage of the opportunity to significantly alter the Justice League. They hired Joss Whedon, who instilled his own style in the film and significantly altered Snyder's original vision. As a result, the 2017 film received mixed critical reviews and failed to connect with die-hard fans who had been anticipating Snyder's version. Snyder recently opened up to Wired about some painful thoughts he was having at the time. Zack Snyder's Justice League is one of the most talked-about sagas in the turbulent world of superhero movies. Fans and Snyder himself were in shock over what happened to this massive project, from its early excitement to its devastating aftermath. Rather than fighting for the Justice League, the Army of the Dead director decided to concentrate on his family's recovery. However, after losing all creative control over his 2017 $657.9 million film, he felt deeply betrayed by WB during his darkest time. Snyder's distinct storytelling style was evident in films such as Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. And not to forget, his resurrected Snyder cut of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, promised to be his magnum opus under his direction. However, tragedy struck the filmmaker's life during the filming of Justice League when he lost his daughter unexpectedly. This calamitous event cast a pall over the project, forcing him to step away from the director's chair. This, understandably, resulted in significant changes in the film's creative direction. With the release of the Snyder Cut, which gave the filmmaker the redemption he had long sought, cinematic history underwent a sea change. The fanbase was ecstatic to see Snyder's true creative vision return. With its 4-hour epic, which received overwhelmingly positive reviews and established Snyder as a visionary filmmaker, Zack Snyder's Justice League became an international phenomenon. Yeah, during post-production, and I found no solace in the work. The life I created for myself was of no comfort to this other experience. If we're honest with ourselves, in what we pursue, we hope that pursuit will have some catharsis for us in the struggles that we have in our lives. And I just think that was the darkest time, because I felt like I turned to the thing that I love, and it turned its back on me as well. The fan movement of wanting to know what Justice League was supposed to be, that was cathartic. Because the making of Justice League was that exact same thing that had betrayed me. And then being able to dedicate the movie to autumn. With Justice League, Zack Snyder undoubtedly experienced both great highs and terrible lows. In his lowest moments, he felt betrayed by Warner Brothers, which clouded his creative pursuits. The filmmaker believed that the production of Justice League was the same as being betrayed. He told Wired, his next film, Rebel Moon, will open in limited theaters on December 15, 2023. Watch Zack Snyder's Justice League on Maxin 2017. The director announced that he would be leaving the project in the middle of production due to the suicide of his 20-year-old daughter, via People. Though Snyder initially returned, Joss Whedon took over as director for the rest of the film to allow Snyder to grieve. Snyder explained why he could not continue working on the film in an interview with CinemaBlend's Sean O'Connell. "I just was kind of done with it. I was in this place of knowing, my family needs me more than this bulls, and I just need to honor them and do the best I can to heal that world. I had no energy to fight the studio and fight for the movie. Literally, zero energy for that." The release of the Snyder Cut, on the other hand, signaled a redemption unlike any other, proving that Snyder's creative genius had never truly died. The excitement that fans have for his upcoming endeavors proves that extraordinary things can come from perseverance in the face of hardship. Veteran director Zack Snyder, known for his extensive work in the DCEU, revealed that he took his work with him when he left Warner Brothers. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. It was a terrible moment for Zack Snyder when he temporarily left the production of Justice League to attend to some personal matters. He was devastated when he saw Joss Whedon stepping in as the director and the chaotic mess that it resulted in. But, when he left Warner Brothers, he made sure to take his work laptop with him. The laptop contained the 4-hour version of his vision of Justice League, and Snyder decided to use it in the best way possible. The end result was the poorly received Whedon's Justice League, which was hailed by many fans as one of the worst DC films to exist. However, when Snyder left Warner Brothers, he took his laptop with him on which a sticker